you can move forwards into a place of being where, okay, it's just okay. And the things that are meant for me will find me and they'll catch hold of me.
Welcome everybody to episode 50 of WatchRoss, the one where we're back in Media City for a chat with casting director Emma Stafford, but first fetch some coffee. I'm running out of breath, man. Right, Petch, we're in, we've got access. I think there's going to be some like mega castings. There could be some castings going on. I don't think there are. Hopefully we won't just like ransack someone's audition. All right. Hi. Are we allowed in?
Yes, you are.
Yes, we are. Petch,
yeah.
come in. Come in. SJ, hello. Sophia.
Hello.
So am I saying that right?
Yes,
Sophia, and in ESC, Emma Stafford casting. Petch, put the camera on Emma. High five, Emma.
High five. Good morning.
I hope you're well. Are we doing some international casting here or what?
Well, sort of.
Anything I can be in?
No, sorry, too old, Ross.
Am I? I'm 36. I'm 36 and I'm already too old.
I'm so sorry.
What are you casting? Are you doing adverts or what today?
I'm doing the 4 o'clock club, which is BBC Children's. So that's what I'm doing.
Did you know I'm Timpo, CBBC, the children's most favourite character in the world that's going to be anyway.
Inspirational team! I've got an idea.
So I think I should be in the 4 o'clock club based on that.
Well, okay then.
Am I too old for even the 4 o'clock club?
No, the teacher. I'm looking for teachers as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but at the moment I'm looking for the children. So I've got 4 new series reg children that I'm looking for.
Children.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking at dates of when I can travel and all of that, and getting myself organised and looking at space down in London to hire and doing all of that, as well as reading the scripts and sorting the characters out. And the girls are working on a commercial.
Right.
So they're doing that. I've just sort of...
SJ, how's that going down?
Really well, thank you.
Really well, Sophia. 89 self-tapes, something like that? Yeah?
Yeah, pretty good.
It's all happening. It's all happening.
It's all happening.
Right, Petch. We're going to go next door. We're going to set up. Are you ready to like produce probably the best podcast on casting ever?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, yeah.
I'm excited about it. I'm going to go next door. We're going to set up then. You crack on with 4 o'clock club. I'll definitely be one of the teachers. I'll be in your advert, no problem. And we'll see you through there in about 5 minutes.
We've sorted it all.
Right, here we are. We've made it. We've set up. We've got Emma here. You've got your herbal tea, Emma.
I have.
What are Uncle Joe's?
They're like extra strong mints, and I have 50 of them apparently.
Really?
Yeah, which is very much.
I've got a coffee addiction. So if you're going for a casting with Emma, take us some Uncle Joe's.
Uncle Joe's or herbal tea.
There you go. You're getting all the insider knowledge. So we're going to record, probably, Emma, the best podcast ever on casting right now. You're going to see 3 clips of it. Potentially, I have no idea what I'm going to put in yet. If you want to listen to the whole thing, get over to actsonthis.tv, get your membership there. It's literally, it's just the best. It's the best platform on the planet, Emma, for actors.
Just do it.
Just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. Right, I've got loads of questions. Are you ready, Emma?
I am ready.
I am ready. Let's begin. For those who might be new to the industry, right, or might not have had the pleasure of coming in for a casting with you so far, just give everyone a bit of an overview of your work as a casting director, some of the projects you're known for, and also maybe a little sneak peek of, you know, what's going on now or what's coming up.
So I suppose the thing that I'm probably most known for is the 4 o'clock club.
Let's talk about the future. We're going to make you a star.
which goes out on BBC Children's, and I'm just starting casting for season 9 of that, which is really exciting.
How many seasons have you done?
Kerry Maley did the first 2, and then I came on from 3, so I've done 3, so this will be my 7th.
Wow.
That's really scary, right?
So is it one a year?
Yeah, pretty much.
So 7 years of the 4 o'clock club.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I do lots of TV commercials as well. I recently did the BBC Christmas film. It's like a short film. It's sort of like a hybrid of the two worlds, really. So they classed it as a short film where the mum and the son, everybody else froze around them. So it's like the BBC Christmas film this year.
Right.
Which was ace. Loads of fun doing that. So yeah, it's good.
Loads and well, that's what I mean. You're pretty unique, like in that sense. You're one of few casting directors that I know that are equally at home casting commercials as well as drama.
Yeah.
Is your process for each like genre the same, or does your approach have to be different? I mean, you're obviously bringing in far fewer actors in a role for drama, as you are for a role in commercial, I presume. So maybe you're open to taking more risks with castings and commercials. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's your ethos around that?
I think for me the approach is project driven. So it would depend on the parameters of what's in front of me. And that determines my approach. I'm very I like to feel that it sort of pulls me and I sort of have an idea of how something's going to work, so I don't come to the table with a preconceived idea as to how my approach is going to be. I look at each individual project and take the approach on that way. So, for example, the job that the girls are casting for at the moment, we've decided to take the approach on that at the last minute to go sort of self-tape and then go into the room with it, just because of the nature of what they're trying to achieve in terms of the filming, basically. It was a better fit, and the director and the producer were happier with that approach than a traditional approach to it.
Yeah, do you find you can see more people like when it's self-tape based?
Way more. And I think it's great as well because it means people that are on my list for a drama, if they can't make it, it means that they're not losing that opportunity, that we're still getting to see them, although not in person, obviously.
Yeah, a load of people listening to this for the pure reason of going, look, I just, how do I get in the room, for an audition with Emma without naming any names, right? What kind of things, because I like to look at it this way around initially, what kind of things have lost actors' auditions with you this week, for instance? Let's look at the stuff that's going to stop you from bringing them in first, and then we're going to look at the kind of things that would make you want to bring an actor in for an audition.
Creatives as a whole, there can be an element of going up for something and really wanting and committing and doing all this prep and going in and doing a great job, and then you don't get it.
Yeah.
So I suppose in some ways it can feel like sort of like a bit of a cliff edge, that you're slowly edging towards that, and you get to the point where you're just like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I've reached the point of no return. But for me, I think there's always progress, and I think we put so much pressure on ourselves that we're here at point A, and actually I want to be over there at point B or C, whatever that personal goal may be. So to be in Steven Spielberg's next new movie,
which you're going to be casted in 3 weeks.
Of course, absolutely, because that's what I'm doing right now. So, and it's the same for me as well. But then when we look back, I always feel like actually that A to B is not a flat linear road.
Never.
That we're sort of struggling down. It's actually more of an upwards moving spiral, that when you look back, there's always been constant movement and progress. It's just maybe not come in the format that we expected it to.
You just sometimes got to turn around and look at where you've come from.
Look at where you've come from. And I interestingly had somebody come in to see me in January, and I honestly, hand on heart, I'd just forgotten that I'd known her from a previous life. And she was like, oh, it's so nice to see you and to see that you're doing so well. And then when I look back and I thought, oh my goodness, she's right. From when I last saw her, which was probably about 25 years ago,
right,
to seeing her now, she said, and you were talking about it so much then, and talking about how you loved your casting and that you wanted to be doing it yourself and have your own place. And she said, and now look at you.
Now look, you've got it.
Now look at you. And I thought, gosh, yeah, and it's only when somebody sort of points that out to you that you do think, and that's where that sort of spiral thing came from me. And I thought, yeah, it's not that linear slog of going down this hard road.
No.
It is just this constantly changing upwards motion. And we reach where we're meant to reach, so whatever that's going to be.
What would you say to actors then who are currently struggling with really kind of grasping that?
Last year was incredibly difficult for me because my wonderful mum passed away.
Oh.
And I think, just that thing of just recognising that something's not nice.
Yeah.
And I'm not comparing me losing my mum to an actor losing a role.
No.
But I just think, that at that point, it's just like, okay, this is not nice, but you have to accept it. So you don't have to like it, but what you do have to do is accept it.
Surrender to it.
Absolutely. And I think once you reach that place of acceptance with it, then you can move forwards into a place of being where, okay, it's just okay. And the things that are meant for me will find me and they'll catch hold of me.
We are back in Emma's Caribbean feeling office. She likes it hot. In there, she's like, get the heating on. I'm like, Emma, it's like 600 degrees.
That's why Ross looks so red.
Yeah, honestly, this is why I'm literally burning up. Emma, right, there was a couple of really interesting points that we covered there. A lot of them tied in, actually, with stuff me and Petch have been producing for social media recently. And one piece we put out on Instagram and Twitter recently was about not giving up. And I know that's sometimes quite cliched because the whole thing is like, oh, you've got to just keep going, you've got to keep going. But I genuinely think it's cliche for a reason. I mean, ultimately, you just do. And sometimes in this industry, yeah, people... It's not giving up, really, if you transition into something else. And I feel that you've found, because you've transitioned, I didn't know until you told me in that podcast that you used to be an actress and now you got into casting. So it's not that you gave up on acting, you just found another passion. Explain that to us.
I think it's about making sure that you're just keeping believing and keeping going and keeping focused and keeping engaged with it and being open to where the journey of life takes you, and you might end up being a series reg on EastEnders or Coronation Street. Yep. You might end up, being in loads of TV commercials. You might end up behind camera or doing something else that you'd not expected. I never thought, that 20-year-old Emma that we spoke about, she never thought she'd be sitting here having this conversation with you in my nice toasty office.
Yeah, it's boiling.
It's so not boiling. You just don't know. And I think if you're not open to that, you're always going to sort of be up against something. And I think there's also so much truth in the fact that, you've almost planted this seed of what you want to do, which is success as an actor. And you see it lots of times where, people are just beginning to break through and then they decide they've had enough and walk away. Yeah. And I think that's true in all walks of life. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's just that thing of just keep on going. And it's really, I think for me, there's been one moment in particular where I really just thought about not doing it anymore, and I'd just had my son and I'd been incredibly poorly after having him, and I just wanted to be at home with Charlie, and I just said to my friend, I've just had enough, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I can remember sitting with him, and he was an agent, a good friend of mine, an agent in London, and he said to me, and do what? And we're out having something to eat, and I actually burst out crying in the middle of the restaurant. And he went, okay. He went, so quite clearly, you're not ready to give it up just yet. Wow. He went, so just keep going. He said, give it 6 months. He said, and I'll support you whatever decision you decide you're going to make. And I think it was literally 4 weeks after that conversation, I got the phone call to go in and interview with Spencer Campbell for the 4 O'Clock Club. Which changed everything. It changed everything, In terms of casting, then? In terms of casting for me and the trajectory of what I was doing, because that was the first drama that I did. Following on from that, then I did Stella, and then we've carried on with 4 O'Clock Club. And obviously things have been different the past 4 years. Mum's been had cancer and it's got terminal. So that's been a main focus for me over the past sort of few years. But, things are coming back round again now, so I can focus back on work again, And it's just about accepting that that's the way my journey's taken me. And there's a part of you that thinks you could have sat and got really frustrated that on the back of something so high profile for, Stella, for Ruth, and casting Western Island for Disney and doing all these amazing things, that then it almost then seemed to stop and just doing the 4:00 Club. But what that actually gave me was time to spend with my mum.
Yeah.
And that I would never ever look back on that and feel sad, because it enabled me to complete that journey with her, and then now I can focus back on work again, and we'll see where this journey takes us. Who knows? We could be sitting here this time next year or not be sitting here this time next year. And I think for me, I'm just open to that, and I think it's just about being open to the journey that life takes us all on.
My favourite thing that you've said, Emma, since I've been doing this podcast, and when we met at that at Dank the other night, the disabled artist networking community, another shout out to Shirley Houston and Melissa Johns who run that, you said the role always finds the right actor. And I just want you to expand on that a little bit again for the people who haven't listened to the full podcast yet, and get over to the site and listen to the full podcast, because it just almost just takes the pressure off you a little bit. It's like, you know what, hang in there, don't give up, try different things, explore different roles within the industry, and the role might not necessarily be an acting role. It's just literally like your role now in the industry has found you in terms of what you're doing. Just finish on that for us in terms of stuff finding us.
I think it's for me, when I'm going into a meeting, I always set an intention to be clear that I want to do the best that I can in the meeting and come across in the best possible way, and to make sure that I've done my research that we've talked about within the podcast, but that I'm not attached to the outcome, that, you're almost, because the outcome's bigger than us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I can't have control over that. And if I worry about having control over that, and I worry about the outcome, that is what will come across in the meeting, and like I had a meeting with Lionsgate, and that was part of me, that 20-year-old little me, was really terrified about that. Yeah. Thinking, oh my God, why do they want to meet me? And I think it's about flipping that, isn't it? And just being like, why not me?
Why don't they want to meet me?
Why not me? Why not me? And I think if we can say that as performers and creatives, and that just, I am good enough just as I am. And that is good enough just right now, in this moment. That's it. And then what is meant to be will find you. That's it. Whatever that may be.
Yeah.
There we are.
Bloody hell, just get Emma on every week. Don't need to. Sophia and SJ are crying over here. Petch is in tears. What will be will be. We'll just end it on that. Ultimately, I hope you found this super inspirational as much as I have. Definitely. Emma, do you know this is the 50th vlog that we've done? You're number 50, half century. Hopefully we'll be here for the 100th at some point.
So there you go. I'm 50 in 2 years. I shouldn't be saying that though, should I?
Done like a day over. I want a job, so I'd say 21 because I want to be in the 4:00 Club. But yeah, 21 definitely. Keep watching. We'll be back with episode 51. I think we've got Jimmy Akambola on the vlog next week. He's a good guy, isn't he?
Jimmy's lovely. He's a really great guy. He's a really good actor, and he's just an all-round good human person. He is lovely.
Bloody good human person. So you'll be seeing Jimmy in episode 51, fingers crossed. Reach out on social media. It's up on the screen right now. Let us know your thoughts. And we always do a little catchphrase at the end, Emma. Okay. My catchphrase, it's not even a catchphrase, Petch is ridiculous. Come on, SJ. Sophia, get in here. Petch, you coming round. You might as well. Let's all get... Is it? This is Sophia's first day. How are you finding your first day?
Good. Very good. Yes. Yeah, Emma is lovely.
Are you going to be back for a second day?
I hope so. Yes. Okay, should we come in?
Fingers crossed. Petch, are you coming in or are you staying there?
I'm framing it up.
Petch is framing it up. I'm trying not to sit on a MacBook. Here we go. Petch is in. He's framed it up. It's all good. Thanks so much for watching once again. This is the craziest end of the vlog we've ever had. In 3, 2, 1, you know the catchphrase, yeah? 3, 2, 1. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It really would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of next time. If you want to catch more episodes, head over to facebook.com/WatchRoss or youtube.com/WatchRoss. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now. Just like that. Go. Ready? Welcome everybody to episode 50 of WatchRoss, the one where we're back in Media City for a chat with casting director Emma Stafford. But first, Petch, some coffee. I missed the door.